Welcome to Faith, Reason, and Geekdom. I'm your genuflexor Roger. My brothers and sisters in Christ join me every week as we work out these three perspectives in our everyday lives. That's what I call Christian genuflexing. Thank you guys for joining me. And again, in the beginning of the announcements, I just want to let you guys know that Faith, Reason, and Geekdom podcast will now be a bi-weekly show every Wednesdays. It is hard work to do a podcast, a lot of time, a lot of effort. I'm a father of 4 kids, and my vocation is to be a good husband and father, to help out with the church, help out the poor, help out anyone in need. And podcast could have a lot of time, a lot of effort doing the research, doing certain amount of things. I like to read up on anything, read up on books, so I can do different episodes on certain topics and stuff. So I thought it would be a lot easier on my family and myself if we just did a bi-weekly show. So hopefully you guys support me. So that will be the new schedule every Wednesdays. Every other Wednesdays, look out for a brand new episode of Faith, Reason, and Geekdom. Please share with your friends, and if you guys can, please put a 5-star Apple rating. Justice League, the Snyder Cut. Now, this is going to be an entirely Geekdom episode for me to geek out on the parts that I liked and did not like about the Justice League Snyder Cut. By now, most of you guys have seen it, so there will be spoilers in this episode, but I have a feeling that the vast majority of you guys have already seen the 4-hour movie. Now, the original Justice League that came out a few years ago, if you guys don't know, Zack Snyder was pretty much outed out of the directing chair, and Joss Whedon of Avengers, Age of Ultron, I think the creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, many other movies and TV shows, Joss Whedon came in and he finished it. He used a lot of new stuff, did not use Zack Snyder stuff. Zack Snyder had a lot of stuff shot, a lot longer movie, and we all know the stories that happen. Tragedy that bestowed it upon Zack Snyder and caused him to step down. Warner Brothers getting antsy about BVS, Batman vs. Superman, not performing as good. Man of Steel not performing as good, which, by the way, Man of Steel, I think, is my favorite DCEU movie. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's incredible. But they didn't perform big, huge box office numbers that Warner Brothers will want it. So they got nervous, pretty much pushed out Zack Snyder, had Joss Whedon, and then we got the movie, which was much shorter, did not have Zack Snyder's vision. So then it did not also perform well in the box office as the original Justice League. So now, for years, fans has been pushing for the Snyder Cut, hashtagging release the Snyder Cut. Very fervent, big fan base has been pushing and pushing for this until finally they're able to be moved. They're able to move HBO Max. So HBO Max decided to put up the money to finish the Snyder Cut. So now the director, Zack Snyder, who directed movies such as 300, Dawn of the Dead, The Watchmen, many other movies, the Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman. Now, he was able to do his full version of the Justice League. He had a 5-movie arc, actually. So he was able to finish up this iteration of it, and it debuted on HBO Max, and it was a 4-hour movie. Now, I very much love this movie. This is probably my second favorite DCEU movie. Loved it. I saw it pretty much almost I saw 1 hour one day, and then I saved, and then the next day I saw the next 3 hours with a buddy of mine. So we're able to watch it and bask in the glory. Like, I think I screamed like a little teenage girl many different times when I saw some of my favorite characters. I loved it. So I just kind of wanted to talk about some of my favorite parts of the movies, and maybe what I didn't like about it.
The bell's been rung. Out in the dark, among the stars, the god is dead.
I had a dream. Almost like a premonition. I think there's an attack coming.
My lord, this world will fall.
I need warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
How do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at it.
You were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes you the rest of your life, find out what that reason is.
He said the age of heroes would never come again.
It will. It has to.
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
But the beginning is a lot different. You see the scene from Batman vs. Superman when Doomsday kills Superman, and it opens up on him dying, yelling, and have this loud yell just go across the entire world, going past, waking up the mother boxes in Atlantis, Themyscira, and then Cyborg. I like that opening a lot better than the original Joss Whedon Justice League with the we all know the mustache gate thing that happened when Henry Cavill, the horrible CGI mustache is not a good look. It's not a good look. And then the montage. What I did like a little bit of the Batman opening scene. That was not in here no more. But overall, I think this was much better. It set the tone. The color schemes in the movie was a lot different. Darker tones. The music was a lot different, which I like Danny Elfman. He did the original Batman 89, but I don't think his score fit for the Justice League. So he is not in there. His score is not in there. Junkie XL, his score is in there, and I prefer his score a lot better. Even the Man of Steel, I love the Man of Steel score. It's in here now, so I missed that. One of my favorite movie scores, just the piano, everything about it, the emotion that it brings up, very important. I liked it a lot. Another lot of differences is the Cyborg story is very flushed out a lot more. We see a lot of more characters, a lot more screen time with Cyborg, who I really liked him in this movie. Justice League, he was okay, but this one I really did like him a lot. He had a lot of new scenes. His mother is in there. It shows more about his family. That good football opening scene where he's getting the touchdown and scoring. That is one thing about Zack Snyder. The slow motion shots in here were excellent. One of my favorite scenes is also the Flash when he's comes out of his shoes and he breaks the glass and goes to save Iris West. The music, the Zack Snyder isms of the music with the slow motion shots, beautiful colors. I really enjoyed that a lot. The opening was better. You have Themyscira, that comes sooner. Steppenwolf. I mean, Steppenwolf, his design, some people at first were a little bit reluctant when they first saw the shots, but man, I love Steppenwolf's design. He looks a lot more menacing, especially his cool armor, spiky armor. You could tell he's very much into social distancing. He's a big fan of 6 feet apart. He doesn't want nobody near him. Very good. I like the way his design, and it made him a more fleshed out character, made him more motivation. So I like that. This Themyscira is a little bit longer, a little bit more extended. This is a rated R movie as well. It's a lot more bloodier. You had Wonder Woman like just murking people, killing people, as the kids would say, murking. I don't know if they still say that, but I'll say that. So she's murking people, blood. So it's rated R. Wonder Woman's doing evaporating people with her bracelets. I don't know how that happens, but yeah, it's a comic book movie, so. You have the painting, where I'm getting the Indiana Jones vibe of Wonder Woman going on adventures. I really like that. She sees the paintings of Darkseid, the story on the wall, and she tells Bruce Wayne, "Oh man, that scene." Also, now instead of before, it was just Steppenwolf, but in the flashback scene of the big epic fight, we see a young Darkseid come forth instead of Steppenwolf like in the original. Green Lantern, of course, he kills him. You have all the different gods, Zeus, Ares, the different ones, the Amazonians and the Atlanteans and regular humans. They fight this all-out big battle. The old gods get the better of the young Darkseid. He gets mortally injured, very bad injured, gets taken away. Oh, that seems so great. Just to see Darkseid. When I saw Darkseid, I'm so happy. You couldn't understand how happy I was. I yelled out a few things that I will not repeat on this podcast, but yes, let's just say yes. And Batman getting the team together, getting the Flash together, getting Aquaman. He's trying to go there. Batman's beard was excellent beard. That's more longer cut when he tries to get Arthur Curry. Also too, it you can tell the reshots in the original Justice League movie. Ben Affleck's looking a little bit puffier, in the reshots of the original Justice League, but in this one he looks leaner, he looks chiseled, he looks in shape. Ben Affleck looks very, very good in this the Snyder Cut Justice League. Well, once he gets everyone together, the movie is very similar. It's very much the same movie, but when you add these different scenes, extended scenes, and new scenes, and you mix all of that up, it gives it a different perspective, a different spin. So when I saw this in the scene when they're fighting Victor Stone, his dad gets taken away because they're trying to find the mother boxes, and that's the whole premise of the story is Steppenwolf's coming on behalf of Darkseid to try to take the mother boxes that were awakened when Superman died. They're less defensive. Bruce Wayne is trying to go around and get this team of Justice League together for a defense, and then they come down. They already taken the one in Themyscira, and then they attack and they take the one in Atlantis, which is William Dafoe. He's in here now, and he wasn't in there at all in the Whedon cut. But now William Dafoe with his long hair is in there, and that's when they take Amber Heard tries to fight off, Mera tries to fight off Steppenwolf. Aquaman comes in to try to help. Ultimately, they fail, so now they have two of the mother boxes, and they're trying to form the unity that would bring apocalypse to the world. So Batman and Flash and Wonder Woman, they get together after meeting with Commissioner Gordon, and they go to the underground underneath these tunnels to fight Steppenwolf in a big, huge battle. And you have the Wonder Woman music blaring, but also now not just the regular Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman from the BVS. Now you have like a different one, kind of like a more like a Greek calling, very reminiscent of 300 or Gladiator. I like that now. Every time she does something, you hear that score. So I really like that. The battle scenes are good. But then they get the idea to wake up Superman with the mother boxes. So Superman is woken up, and they did keep that scene, which I'm glad that they kept the scene where the Flash is going around and he's trying to go around Kal-El, and he sees him out of the corner of his eye. So I'm glad they kept that, because that was part of Zack Snyder's. So the fight is a little bit longer too. Superman's fighting. They have Batman's gauntlets, and this time you have Lois Lane come out where she visits. She happens to visit the place, the where they play homage, and she's there. She shows up. So that was good. So they take Superman flies off with them. But another moment that I really liked, Martian Manhunter, John Jones, Martian Manhunter. I've been watching him in the comic books, cartoons. If you guys, Justice League, the cartoon, excellent cartoon. You guys should really check that out. John Jones himself, the Manhunter, Martian Manhunter, is in there, and he's in a scene disguised as Martha Kent. And then it revealed that he was actually in there the whole time. He was in there since Man of Steel. If you guys seen Man of Steel, he was in there, the actor. So it was I like that scene. I like a lot of the fighting. And then once they get to the main battle, and I love like the scene before they wake up Superman, where he gets the visions. And let's talk about the visions. The vision was incredible, where they had Wonder Woman dead. Then they had that excellent scene with Darkseid doing the Omega beams. That was shooting Omega beams out of his eyes right through the Atlantean, stabbing Aquaman. That was such a great scene. You see Superman getting consoled by Darkseid because Lois Lane is dead. So many, just that alone, the Omega beams alone, incredible, worth everything, worth the wait. So you see the final battle scene, and the final battle scene is different. There's no family. There's not the family in the Justice League is gone. They're not there no more. It's just regular battle, regular fighting going on. And Superman finally comes back in the all-black suit. We get the black suit Superman, and he is Superman. He doesn't care. Steppenwolf is no match for Superman. He just beats him to a pulp. Before that happens, they fail, and Flash turns back time. He turns back time, and they're able to break away the Unity, and Superman beats Steppenwolf to a pulp, where Wonder Woman, flying through the air, cuts off the head of Steppenwolf, and it goes flying through the boom tube, which has been open, and you see Granny Goodness and everyone else waiting. Granny Goodness looking ripped, looking buff. This isn't Granny Goodness taking Ovaltine. This isn't Granny Goodness taking mid-afternoon naps. No, this Granny Goodness can kick some butt. And then you have Darkseid standing there. So they go away mad. The boom tube closes. Justice League stands their ground, and Darkseid says, "We'll use the old ways. Ready the Armada." Man, I wish I could see part 2 and part 3 of this movie. The movie's ending, everything's going good, but then you see the shot where Lex Luthor escapes, and then Deathstroke, Wade Wilson, Deathstroke, and hunting the Batman. No, now he knows Bruce Wayne is Batman, but then we get the nightmare scene. Incredible scene. This I don't know what is my favorite. I think the one with the Omega beams is probably my favorite scene, but this one is a close second, because nightmare sequence, we get it, the extended from Batman vs Superman. We see Flash finally in that uniform, the big metal thing with the mustache and beard. Mera comes out, Cyborg, Batman with the duster, and then Deathstroke looking just absolutely incredible, looking amazing. Get chills. I want to see that movie. Deathstroke there. They're desert. They're trying to look for, trying to find shelter and going around trying to stop this horrible world that happened. And then you hear the laugh, and you see none other than the Joker, played by Jared Leto, looking a lot different. They have this little philosophical talk about what have you lost, and Batman, he's not having it. He says a lot of things that I won't repeat on here, but oh my goodness, that scene is so good. Incredible scene. I really enjoyed that. Then Superman shows up. Bruce Wayne wakes up, and the final shot we get is of Martian Manhunter once again coming to reassure that he is on board with the Justice League. He is on board that whenever they need him and the battle comes, that he will be there. And so he flies off, and Bruce Wayne stands there. And again, Ben Affleck looking a lot better shape. So, I mean, this movie's good. I really like this. Probably my second favorite DCEU movie. If I had to rank them, like, that's what I would probably put right now currently. I wish we could see the whole vision of what Zack Snyder had, because he did have more in store. If you guys want to find out what he had in store, you guys can easily look it up. There's different stories of him talking about what he had planned, because it was a 5-movie arc with Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, and Justice League 2 and 3. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get any of that, which is very, very sad, because I liked this. If you guys seen the animated movies, which the animated movies I really enjoy. DC makes some very good animated movies. Some of them are PG-13 or rated R. But one of the last ones was Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. And if you guys seen that, that is similar to Nightmare-ish scene. Little bit of like stuff that happens. People are dead. Things are altered. I really, really enjoyed that animated movie series. So it reminds me of what we could have gotten from a Justice League 2 or Justice League 3. So let's help. Now there is a campaign now to restore the Snyderverse, and hopefully that does happen, because there is a toxic fan base that was when Godzilla versus Kong came out. They're bombing, review bombing, with negative reviews to, I guess, teach Warner Brothers a lesson, or HBO Max a lesson about not restoring the Snyderverse. And that's not good. That kind of toxic fandom is not good. Let's stay on the positive one, guys. But a lot of people, like the actor, I can't say his last name, but Joe, just call him Joe Maggiano, I think. He's on the Restore the Snyderverse. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson himself, Black Adam himself, he's on the Restore the Snyderverse bandwagon. A lot of people are. So hopefully, I mean, cross our fingers, maybe this will happen, but I will doubt it. If I had to go over under 10%, I would say it's probably a 10%. I probably around a 9% chance that this will happen, which is unfortunate, because I wish they would have just put this movie out first. Maybe it wouldn't have been the 4 hours, but I think they could have done 3 hours, 3.5 hours, because there are some parts in here that could have been cut down. There are, like the Aquaman scene, the extended one where some ladies are coming out and they're singing an old folk song. I like that part, but I think it's gone on a little bit too long. There's other different scenes, but I mean, there's a lot of Flash scenes in here. Batman scenes are pretty much similar amount of length. Wonder Woman, pretty much. I mean, all of them have extended time. I mean, this movie's almost 2 hours longer than the original one. But as far as different shots and thing, I would say it would be Cyborg. Definitely a lot of whole story flushed out. And again, nobody learns their lessons from Terminator 2 with that actor. Nobody learns their lessons, because you get that guy to mess around with robotics, bad things are going to happen. Hasn't anybody seen Judgment Day, Skynet? Anybody? Like, get that guy away from robotics. But anyway, when he dies, that's a touching scene. He goes to save his life for the mother box, giving it a heat signature. That way they could find it later on. But again, Steppenwolf, really like the design. Darkseid, his voice is so menacing Darkseid is, I love the design of Darkseid, his costume, his look, the whole look of Darkseid is actually very, very good. I like that. So yes, you can watch videos if you want to see the differences of the Snyder cut versus the Whedon cut, or or my friend says the Justice League. Instead of Justice League, it's Josh Whedon, the Justice League. You could see the differences. But this one is superior. So if you like the first Justice League, I think you're going to love this one. And if you hated the original Justice League, then you might just only dislike this one. But I would highly, highly recommend anyone who hasn't seen this. You can break it up into parts too, because when I watched it the second time, I've seen this twice. So in the second time, I just did it by it's breaking up into 6 parts. They're not all equal in time, but there's 6 parts. And if you guys want to do that, you can do maybe break it up, watch 2 parts or 1 part a night or whatever. You can break it up if you want, or just see it all in one sitting. Or if you're really, really dedicated, how about you watch Man of Steel followed by Batman vs. Superman, the extended cut, the ultimate cut, and then the 4-hour Justice League cut. Wow. That I know there's some people that have done that. That actually would be cool to do. I might do that one day. One day if I have time. But that's pretty much the whole day is right there. Yes, guys. So let me know what you guys thought of this. If you guys liked it, if you didn't. Me, I'm giving this an 8.5. I'm giving this an 8.5. Ben Affleck proved to me why he is one of the greatest Batmans of all time. He just proved it so excellent. He reminds me of the animated series, the 90s, in the 1990s. That's what he reminds me of. He's chiseled. He's over 6 foot tall, 200 and something plus pound. I think he is. Jason Momoa, excellent job as Aquaman. Wonder Woman, you can't say anything about her. The Flash, this cut actually made me come around a little bit more, because I didn't care about him. He's not my Barry Allen. I didn't feel the Barry Allen-ness from him. This cut still didn't feel like a Barry Allen, but this cut, his extended scenes, his flushed out story, did make me come around a little bit to Ezra Miller as an actor, portraying the Flash. So I can't wait for a Green Lantern movie. Oh, and then if you guys seen the little Easter eggs, just some of the Easter eggs throughout the movie, yes, dead Kilowog. Towards the end, in the nightmare sequence, you do see dead Kilowog. Real briefly, the Green Lantern. I thought that was pretty cool. The reference to Joker, never send a boy to do man's jobs, of murdering the second Robin. There's a whole bunch of, again, we talked about Martian Manhunter going in there. Alfred, also, good job. He had a little bit more scenes. The black suit Superman. Superman had a little bit more extended scenes. Not too much, though, because he wasn't in there. For most of the movie, he wasn't in there. But finally, they showed Superman being a Superman, using his full powers, not playing around with people. That was so good. Very, very good. So, HBO Max. There's other movies on there, too. So, if you guys are thinking about getting HBO Max or not, they have a whole DC collection. They don't have all the animated movies, but they have a lot of the animated movies, which I also highly recommend watching if you're big into DC or comics. Yes, they have a lot of different shows. They have Titans. They got Doom Patrol, a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, I really like HBO Max, and also because of all their other movies as well. But we'll see what's looking forward. I know the new Batman, Robert Pattinson's coming up. You got Black Adam just started shooting. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Shazam 2's casting some people. There's a lot of good news, positive news coming out. But it is a little bit of a downer that the executives, they did an interview and they're pretty much shutting it down and saying that we're not going to restore the Snyder Cut. And that's coming from the higher ups at at Warner Brothers in DC. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. And at least we got the Snyder cut, because a lot of people did not think this would happen, or if it did happen, that it would happen in about maybe a decade or so. But we got it, and I am extremely very happy just to see Darkseid, Martian Manhunter on scene, the new and improved Joker, which I liked it a lot better than the Suicide Squad Joker. Jared Leto definitely redeemed his portrayal of the Joker, and hopefully, I wish it could just be like that. They should have just done something like that from the beginning. I don't know why they did it the way they did, but they did, and that's what we got to live for. So, yes, once again, if you guys get on Apple Podcasts, give me a 5-star rating. I would really appreciate it. Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere you can. Share it with your friends. And remember, this is going to be a bi-weekly, every Wednesday's Faith, Reason, and Geekdom. Please show me some support. Share this with your friends. Hopefully we'll get some good guests on here, and we'll have good topics, and we'll all get together and share this with your people. Yeah, right. Thank you. This is your Jenny Flexo Roger. Thank you for being here and listening to Faith, Reason, and Geekdom. Godspeed.